All right, hey everybody. We're on our part 3 of 3 Pilates-based video series. So we've talked about what is Pilates and where it came from. We've also done a little intro on what exactly is a Pilates reformer. So last week we talked about the parts of a reformer. Today we just wanted to describe and show you a little bit about how we utilize a reformer with a patient. And we're going to go over our 2 favorite positions, 2 standard positions we have someone on a reformer. Marley here is laying on her back or supine. Her feet are up on the infinity bar. And from this position, real quick, we'll just show how if someone, we'll just assume we've already taught Marley the 6 principles of Pilates, how to center her core and also breathe in that centered position or neutral in her core. But once she has mastered that, we bring people onto the reformer and we start moving in functional movement patterns like a squat. You could imagine her sitting in a squat right now if we picked her up and set her on her feet. So from here, she can try to maintain her core activation as she presses through the resistance of the springs like we showed you last week as she comes up. So she's trying really hard. The most common pattern, or the most common dysfunctional pattern we see is as people exert through their legs and stand up, they start to arch her back. I don't know if you can see that, but she's arching her back and her ribs are flaring up, which is telling us that she chooses, when she tries to squat or get up out of a chair, she uses her back extensors more than her abs and her legs. So to correct that, she's going to keep her core down and engaged. She's going to breathe in on the way up, or out on the way up, depending on the person. So there she maintained a good neutral core, which tells us now she's moving from her hips and her knees versus her lower back. So if it's someone with back pain or up even into the head and neck pain, that's a great one to start with there. So that's probably the most common first movement that we train on the reformer to help people start to learn what it feels like to keep their core engaged while they do functional movements. So we're going to have Marley stand up now. And we're going to have her standing. So this is probably our second favorite position that we have people on. And remember, the reformer has about 800 some different exercises that we can do. I'm just showing you 3 today for time's sake. So we're going to put Marley's feet nice and close together. I'm going to decrease some of the resistance. So in this position, we can teach standing posture. So she's going to unlock her knees a little bit. She's going to tip her pelvis back slightly to engage her core again, glutes, hamstrings, getting her out of that lower back. And as she starts moving now, it's called side split. So she's going to push herself apart, keeping control in her pelvis and her abs as she does that. So what you might see is someone lock their knees out as she starts pushing and extend their back. That's a common thing we see that would, again, cause back issues. So as she keeps her knees unlocked, her core engaged, she should be able to push back and forth through that. We also might find that one side's harder than the other. So maybe the hip stabilizers on one side maybe are a little weaker than the other. Let's have Marley turn now. So she'll face forward and we'll do an Eve's lunge. So we'll put whatever leg back. I usually put them a little bit further back. I might go all the way to here so we can really get a long stride. She's going to have majority of her weight on this front leg. And then we want to try to keep the trunk in line with the back leg. So this is great for our athletes, or anyone that wants to work on stability in the leg. So as she's going up and down, she's using on the right side her glute and hamstring along with the quad to help stabilize going down and help bring her body back up. And that whole time with a nice straight inline position, that means her abs are on and she's not arching her back. So Marley will show probably the more common pattern we see. So there's that back extension again and sticking straight up. That's not good right there in the lower back. Or in the shin. So my runners with shin splints, this is a common one that we'll work on. Runners with back pain or anybody really with back pain when they work out, this is a really common one that we'll work on. Again, a lot of different variations of this, whether we're adding weight or decreasing weight to make it harder or easier. We may have people close their eyes. We may make them do something with their arms at the same time. There's just a lot of different ways we can challenge someone. So those are 3 of the maybe most common starting exercises that we see in the reformer. And maybe in the future videos we can talk about higher level movements on here. So thanks for watching.